You have felt it, have you not? A low heat in the belly. Not the fire of anger, not the flush of excitement, but something more ancient. A heat that seems to be rising from the very marrow of your bones. A slow, insistent warmth behind the solar plexus that has nothing to do with the temperature of the room and everything to do with the temperature of your life. It is the pilot light of a great furnace, one you had perhaps forgotten was there, now being turned up degree by silent degree. You feel it when you wake in the middle of the night, the sheets tangled, your skin humming with a strange vibration. You feel it in moments of stillness, when the noise of the world recedes and you are left with the sound of your own blood, a sound that has become a low roar, the sound of a forge preparing for its work. Do not dismiss this. Do not label it anxiety or stress or indigestion. That is the language of a world that has forgotten how to listen to the body's native tongue. This heat is a signal. It is a summons. It is the physical evidence that a cosmic gear of immense weight is beginning to turn, and your own life, your own timeline, is caught in its inexorable motion. This is not happening to you. It is happening for you, and it is happening through you. The heat you feel is the announcement that tomorrow, the sun, the great heart of our solar system, the engine of all life and light and identity, will make its exact, once-in-a-year meeting with Saturn, the great teacher, the lord of karma, the architect of reality. For the first time in 12 months, the source of all light will stand before the guardian of all structure. The star of pure potential will stare into the unblinking eye of consequence. And you are standing at the precise intersection of that gaze. The heat in your body is the friction of these two worlds meeting inside of you. It is the raw, unshielded energy of your own becoming, illuminated by the sun, being tested against the unyielding anvil of what is real, what is true, and what is earned. What is about to happen is not a negotiation. It is a reckoning. Not a punishment, but a profound and necessary clarification. The time for maybes, for someday, for the comfortable gray space of indecision is over. The sun is coming to ask a single, devastating question of the life you have built, the structures you inhabit, the vows you have made to others and to yourself. And the question is this: is it real? Does it have integrity? Can it withstand the fire? Let me explain what this means, not in the language of abstract astronomy, but in the language of the soul, the language of the forge. Imagine your life, your identity, your very being is a piece of raw, unformed metal. It has potential, yes. It has weight. It has memory of the mountain from which it was mined. But it does not yet have its true shape. It does not have its final strength. For your entire life, you have been carried, heated, cooled, and passed from hand to hand. But now, you have been placed upon the anvil. Saturn is that anvil, cold, dense, ancient, and absolute. It is the surface of reality itself. It does not yield. It does not bend. It simply is. It is the accumulated weight of all your choices, all your experiences, all the moments you said yes when you meant no, and all the moments you stood in your truth when it cost you everything. The anvil holds the memory of your karma. And the sun? The sun is the celestial hammer, raised high. But it is also the fire of the forge itself. In the days leading up to this moment, you have been placed in the coals. That is the heat you have been feeling. It is the process of softening, of making the rigid parts of you malleable. The sun's light is not gentle right now. It is a purifying, clarifying, alchemical fire designed to burn away everything that is not essential. It is burning away the excuses. It is burning away the polite fictions you have maintained for the comfort of others. It is burning away the skin of an identity that has grown too small, a chrysalis that has become a cage. This process is not comfortable. It feels like exposure. It feels like all your weaknesses, all your impurities, are rising to the surface, visible for all to see. Good. That is the point. The master blacksmith does not fear the impurities. He welcomes their appearance, for only then can they be skimmed away. When the sun makes its exact contact with Saturn tomorrow, that is the moment the hammer strikes the anvil. It is a moment of profound impact. A shock wave will travel through your timeline, both backward and forward. It is a moment where the full, unblinking light of your own consciousness, the sun, is forced to see, without illusion, the real-world consequences and structures of your life. Saturn. There is no hiding. There is no shadow to retreat into. The light is absolute, and the surface it illuminates is the unvarnished truth of your reality. The job, the relationship, the home, the belief system, all of it will be revealed for what it truly is. Not for what you hoped it would be, not for what it looks like on the outside, but for its core, structural integrity. This event does not happen in a vacuum. The last time this alignment occurred, 12 months ago, a seed was planted. A question about your future was asked. A subtle discontent began to stir. Think back. A year ago, a quiet promise was made to yourself, or a silent resignation began to set in. A path diverged, even if only by a single degree. That was the beginning of the cycle that is now culminating. That was the ore being pulled from the earth. The entire year that has passed since has been the process of bringing you here, to this forge, to this anvil. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every small victory, every moment of quiet despair has been part of this. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. It was all bringing the metal to the fire. It was all preparation for the strike. The ancient world understood this alchemy. They did not see planets as sterile balls of gas and rock. They saw them as living intelligences, as gods. To the Babylonians, Saturn was the steady old king, the keeper of boundaries and divine law. To the Vedic seers, he was Shani, the great dispenser of justice, whose slow transit through the heavens brought the inevitable ripening of karma. They knew that Shani's gaze was heavy, that it stripped away all that was false, but they also knew it was not malicious. Shani does not punish. He corrects. He adjusts. He returns you to the path that is truly yours, even if that return is jarring. The sun, for its part, was the visible face of the Creator, the heart of the divine, the source of vitality and royal power. So when the King of the Heavens met the Lord of Karma, it was a moment of divine audit, a celestial accounting. The king's power was being tested against the ancient laws. The soul's radiant desire was being tested against the pragmatic limits of reality. There is a myth that resonates with this moment, the story of Hephaestus, the Greek god of the forge. He was born lame, imperfect, and was cast from the heights of Olympus by his own mother, Hera, who was ashamed of him. He fell for a day and a night, landing broken in the sea, where he was rescued and raised in a hidden grotto. It was there, in the darkness, in his isolation and his wound, that he discovered his true nature. He became the master craftsman, the divine blacksmith. His forge, deep within the earth, was where the thunderbolts of Zeus were hammered into being, where the shield of Achilles was made, where the most powerful artifacts of the gods were created. His power was not in his perfection. It was born directly from his rejection, his limitation, his wound. He did not transcend his lameness. He built his mastery upon it. He turned the thing that was supposed to be his shame into the very source of his unique, inimitable genius. You are in that forge now. You may feel like you have been cast out of some Olympus, a dream, a community, a version of yourself you thought you were supposed to be. You may feel the sharp ache of your own perceived imperfections, your own lameness. You are being asked to stop fighting it. You are being asked to understand that the wound is not an obstacle to your power. It is the entryway to it. Saturn's pressure is not trying to crush you. It is trying to show you where you are strongest. Like a master architect tapping the walls of a building, it is searching for the studs, for the foundation, for the parts of you that are solid and true. The parts that ring with integrity when struck. The sun's fire is not trying to burn you to ash. It is trying to burn away the illusion that you must be perfect in order to be powerful. It is trying to show you that the most beautiful, most resilient, most powerful creations are forged in the hottest fire and shaped by the heaviest hammer. They are not born of ease. They are born of pressure, impact, and intention. So, let us speak of your body again. That heat in your solar plexus is the forge fire. It is the seat of your will, your identity, your personal power. Feel it. Do not be afraid of it. It is the presence of the sun within you, asking, what do you truly want to build with this one life? What is the work that only you can do? Now, notice the other sensations. Is there a weight on your shoulders? A tension in your upper back? That is Saturn. It is the weight of responsibility, yes, but not the false responsibility of pleasing everyone. It is the sacred responsibility of building a life that is structurally sound, a life that can bear the weight of your own soul's purpose. It is the call to become your own authority, to stop outsourcing your power to others, to become the sovereign of your own reality. Perhaps you feel it in your knees, an ache in your joints, a stiffness in your bones. Saturn rules the skeleton, the very framework of the body. This alignment is working on you at a skeletal level. It is a deep, foundational restructuring. It is an invitation to examine the very bones of your life, the unspoken contracts in your relationships, the foundational beliefs upon which you have built your career, the ancestral patterns that have been passed down through your lineage, living in your very bones. Some of these structures have supported you. They have carried you this far. But some have become too rigid. They are preventing your growth. This transit is revealing the stress fractures, the places where the old foundation can no longer support the new person you are becoming. And then there is the feeling of being stuck, of being held in place, pinned down. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable sensation of all. You want to move, to act, to escape the pressure, but you cannot. This is the feeling of the metal held fast upon the anvil. You are not meant to escape it. You are meant to endure it. You are meant to be present for the strike. Any attempt to wriggle free now, to distract yourself, to numb the intensity of this moment, will be a disservice to the masterpiece you are becoming. The blacksmith does not remove the metal from the anvil before the hammer falls. To do so would be to waste the fire. To do so would be to leave the work unfinished. The stillness, the pressure, the feeling of being trapped. This is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that the most important part of the process is about to happen. You must be still, so the blow can land true. The impact of this alignment will reverberate through 3 distinct areas of your life. For some of you, the hammer will fall on your career, your public life, your sense of purpose in the world. The sun will illuminate the disparity between the work you are doing and the work your soul came here to do. Saturn will present the bill for every time you have traded fulfillment for security, every time you have silenced your own inner authority to appease an external one. A structure here, a job, a company, a career path that lacks integrity will begin to crumble. This is not a failure. Let me say that again. This is not a failure. It is a liberation. It is the demolition of a beautifully decorated prison so that you can finally build your own temple. The strike will be a moment of radical clarity, a conversation you can no longer avoid, a resignation that is not an act of giving up, but an act of claiming your own worth, a sudden realization of the true work, and the sobering, terrifying, exhilarating understanding that the only thing stopping you from doing it is a story you have been telling yourself about who you are and what you are capable of. For others, the hammer will fall on the structure of your relationships. The sun will shine its unforgiving light on the contracts, spoken and unspoken, that bind you to others. Saturn will test the foundations of these connections. Is this partnership built on mutual respect and authentic growth? Or is it built on codependency, convenience, or the fear of being alone? Is this friendship one that nourishes your soul, or one that drains your life force? The light will reveal the truth. And where the foundation is weak, cracks will appear. An uncomfortable truth will surface. A dynamic that has been tolerated for years will suddenly become unbearable. This is a moment of profound relational honesty. It may mean the end of a connection. If so, you must understand this is not a tragedy. It is a sacred uncoupling. It is the brave and painful act of withdrawing your energy from a structure that is no longer sound, so that you can invest it in building connections that are. For some, this will be the opposite. A relationship that has endured tests will now be forged into something even stronger, something permanent. The heat and pressure will solidify the bond, creating a commitment that is based not on fantasy, but on a clear-eyed acceptance of reality, with all its beautiful imperfections. And for a third group, the hammer will fall on your relationship with yourself, on the very structure of your identity. The sun will illuminate the face you show to the world, and Saturn will ask if it matches the bones of who you are underneath. It will test the internal architecture of your self-worth, your discipline, your integrity. Have you kept the promises you have made to your own body, your own mind, your own spirit? Have you honored your own boundaries? Have you been living in accordance with your deepest values? This is the moment where the persona cracks. The mask dissolves. The carefully constructed identity that you thought was you is revealed to be a costume. And what is left is something more raw, more real, and infinitely more powerful. It is the terror and the glory of meeting your true self, stripped of all artifice. This can feel like a death, an ego death, and it is. But it is the necessary death that precedes every true rebirth. You are not losing yourself. You are losing the parts of you that were never you to begin with. You are being returned to your essential nature. There is a truth you have been carrying, an unnamed thing. It lives in the quiet of your chest, a dense, heavy jewel of knowing. It is the knowledge of what must be done. It is the name of the conversation that must be had. It is the awareness of the door that must be closed, or the one that must be walked through. You have held it in silence, perhaps for years. You have built intricate structures of denial around it, hoping that if you did not look at it, it would cease to exist. But it has only grown heavier. The sun is now shining its light directly upon it. Saturn is demanding it be brought forth and placed upon the anvil of reality. The unnamed truth is the very piece of metal that this entire cosmic event has been orchestrated to address. It says, "This is not it." That whisper you hear in the quiet moments, this job, this relationship, this city, this way of being, this is not it. It says, "You must speak." That pressure in your throat, the words that swim behind your teeth, desperate for release. It says, "You have to leave." That pull in your gut, the compass of your soul trying to orient you toward a different shore. It says, "You have to begin." That ache in your hands, the creative impulse that you have starved and suppressed in the name of practicality. You know which of these is yours. You know the precise shape and weight of your own unnamed truth. The heat you are feeling is the fire asking you to finally bring it into the light. Because the great secret of the forge is this: the flaw in the metal, the crack, the impurity, that is not where the metal breaks. Under the right fire and the right pressure, that is where the most profound transformation occurs. That is the place the master smith focuses his attention. It is the flaw that invites the alchemy. Your greatest wound, your deepest secret, the thing you are most afraid to face, that is precisely where your greatest power is waiting to be forged. So, what are you to do? How do you consciously participate in this powerful, demanding, and ultimately grace-filled process? You do not need to force anything. The river of cosmic time is already flowing with immense force. Your task is not to push the river, but to align yourself with its current, to become a willing participant in your own transformation, rather than a victim of circumstance. To do this, I am going to walk you through a practice, a 3-day ritual of conscious alignment, a way to honor the fire, the anvil, and the hammer. This practice begins today, the day before the exact alignment. Today is the day of the heating. It is the day you consciously place yourself in the fire. Your task today is simple, but it is not easy. You must name the unnamed truth. You must give it language. You will need a piece of paper and a pen, not a computer, not a phone. The kinetic energy of your hand moving across paper is essential. Find a place where you will not be disturbed. Light a candle if you can, to honor the fire element. Sit with yourself. Close your eyes. Feel the heat in your solar plexus. Breathe into it. Ask your deepest self, your soul, to give you the words. Then, write it down. Write down the truth you have been avoiding. Do not censor it. Do not soften it. Use the clearest, most honest language you can find. I am no longer in love with this person. This career is draining my soul, and I must find a new path. I have been lying to myself about my health. I am ready to forgive my father. I am terrified of being seen for who I truly am. Whatever it is, write the sentence. Read it aloud. Let the vibration of the words fill the room. Let your own ears hear the truth you have been silencing. This may bring tears. It may bring fear. It may bring a profound sense of relief. All of it is welcome. You are simply acknowledging what already is. You are bringing the metal to the fire. Once you have written it, fold the paper and keep it with you, in your pocket, in your wallet. Let it be a point of contact with your own raw honesty throughout the rest of the day. That is all for today. You have done the brave work of naming. Tomorrow is the day of the alignment, the day of the strike. This is the day of impact and integration. You will need the piece of paper from yesterday. You will also need to find 2 stones. One should be larger, flat if possible, stable. This is your anvil. The other should be smaller, one that fits comfortably in your hand. This is your hammer. These can be stones from your garden, from a park, from a riverbed. They hold the ancient, patient energy of the earth, the energy of Saturn. Take your paper, your anvil stone, and your hammer stone to a place where you can be alone, preferably outdoors. If you cannot go outside, a spot by a window will do. Unfold the paper and read the words aloud one more time, with intention. Acknowledge that this truth is real. Place the paper on the anvil stone. Now take the hammer stone in your dominant hand. Take a deep breath. This is not an act of violence or destruction. It is an act of punctuation, of emphasis, of reality. You are impressing upon this truth the full weight of your intention to honor it. With a single decisive motion, strike the paper on the stone, not to tear it, but to make a mark, an indentation, to send a shock wave of your decision into the fabric of reality. Feel the thud of the impact travel up your arm. In that moment, the Sun and Saturn meet in the heavens, and you have met them on Earth, in the reality of your own life. You have participated in the great strike. You have confirmed your readiness for change. Sit in the silence afterward. Feel the resonance. The echo of that impact will continue to work on you long after the moment has passed. Fold the paper again with its new mark upon it and keep it with you. The work of the strike is done. The third day, the day after the alignment, is the day of the quenching. This is the crucial final step where the new form is set, where the transformation is sealed. In the forge, after the metal is heated and hammered, it is plunged into cold water. This process, called tempering, is what gives the blade its strength and flexibility. Too fast, and it becomes brittle. Too slow, and it remains soft. The quenching must be deliberate. You will need your paper from the last 2 days and a simple bowl or glass of cold water. Find your quiet space once more. Hold the paper in your hands. Thank it. Thank the truth it carries. Thank the part of you that was brave enough to write it down, to have it witnessed by the cosmos. You are not destroying this truth. You are integrating it. You are cooling it from a burning, painful secret into a source of tempered strength. Read the words one last time, silently to yourself. Then, with reverence, submerge the paper in the cold water. Watch as the water darkens the ink. Watch as the fibers of the paper soften and yield. You are releasing the charge. You are releasing the struggle. You are allowing the new pattern to set within your being. The decision is no longer a hot coal in your hands. It is now a part of the very structure of you. Let the paper soak for a few minutes. Then, the final act of release. Take the bowl of water and the sodden paper outside. If you have a garden, a pot of soil, a tree you can visit, that is best. If not, any patch of earth will do. Pour the water onto the earth. Take the paper, which is now just pulp, and bury it in the soil. You are returning the old story to the great cycle of decomposition and rebirth. You are giving it back to the earth, to Saturn's domain, with gratitude. You have completed the alchemical process. You took the raw material of a painful truth, subjected it to the fire of consciousness and the impact of decision, and tempered it into a new, resilient form that is now integrated into the foundation of your life. The work is done. The path forward will begin to clear. You did not find this by accident. Something in you, the part of you that is ready for this deep work, recognized the sound of the hammer and the anvil before I ever named it. The hum of the forge has been calling to you for months, and you finally answered. Your presence here is not a coincidence. It is evidence of your readiness. It is a testament to your courage. The part of you that is tired of the illusions, the part of you that is hungry for what is real, is the part that guided you to this moment. Trust that part. It is the wisest guide you will ever have. What you have just walked through is not easy. To face the structures of our lives with such radical honesty is the work of a spiritual warrior. It is the work of the soulsmith. Be tender with yourself in the days to come. The old structures may not fall away overnight. The new path may not be illuminated with floodlights. but something fundamental has shifted in the bedrock of your reality. You have aligned yourself with truth. You have honored the cosmic law. And the universe will always rush to support a soul that has chosen the path of integrity. There are thousands of us, all over the world, standing at our own forges in these very hours. Each of us with our own unnamed truth, our own piece of metal upon the anvil. You are not alone in this intensity. You are part of a silent fellowship of transformation. To make this visible, to anchor your intention in the collective, I invite you to leave a declaration in the space below. Do not share your personal truth. That is sacred, and it is yours alone. Instead, write the words that signal your participation in this great work. Write the words, "The forge is lit." When you write these words, it is a signal to your own subconscious that you are serious. It is an anchor. And when you see others who have written it, know that they too are in the fire alongside you. Someone beneath your words, someone reading them in a moment of doubt, will find the courage to light their own forge. Your act of public declaration becomes a gift of anonymous solidarity. It becomes a small act of service to the whole. I have spent countless hours in study, in meditation, in listening to the celestial currents so that this guidance could be clear, so that the path through this powerful transit could be illuminated for you. If this work has served you, if it has given you language for what you were feeling, if it has given you a map for the territory you are in, then subscribe and join this community. We will walk through many more gateways together. Remember this: the purpose of the forge is not to destroy the metal. The purpose of the forge is to reveal the sword that was hidden inside the metal all along. You are not being broken. You are being revealed. The forge is lit.